People have always said, well, it takes a person to do it. And I'm like,
Good news is we got the guys on the show today. We're dialed in, baby. We got them. We're here.
In 2023 here, we have done 37 state shoots, 7 of the 11 satellite grants.
We're almost there.
So most of them.
We now have, I think it's 241, 242 clubs across the country using our system.
If a club was wanting to use you, do you have like a base entry-level pricing or packages that you advertise, or is it based on the size of the shoots, Greg?
Our base level price is $0. Our complete package system, the whole enchilada, is $0.
$0 is a good price.
It's a good price.
We don't always know exactly who's going to show up.
Yep.
Right? So, you got to get your squad.
I might be that guy.
Dave Kelly's been on every squad of mine for the last 2 years. We don't even shoot crap anymore.
Yeah, he don't even shoot.
He's filling in the post, and then then I find somebody to put in there. But
the premium members do not pay a pre-squad fee ever.
Yeah.
For all year.
All year.
Can I buy a lifetime membership?
Absolutely.
Yeah, I was just going to say.
Gotta be your first lifetime member.
Is there a 5
I want
year?
to be number one. Zach,
we want lifetime memberships for me and Ricky.
Don't forget to follow us on our social media pages. Like, share, and subscribe. This podcast is sponsored by the following. Remington, made with pride in the USA. Iconic American impact. Wenig Custom Gun Stocks. Head on down for your custom fitting. Remember, winners shoot Wenig. Shot Tracker. Like having a coach on your barrel. For more info, go to takeaimtech.com. Life is too short to miss. RM Shooting Clinics. Helping shooters from coast to coast. Have Ricky take your game to the next level. Zach Nannini at Northwestern Mutual. Trusted advice from someone you know. We believe in putting people first. Other supporters for Trap Talk. The Nevada State Trap Shooting Association. Don't miss their 75th annual state shoot this October in Las Vegas. The NSTA puts on some great shoots, and they're going big for this year's state. Go to nvtrap.com to check out their program and all other shoots as well.
This sounds like one of the funnest shoots ever, and I'm not getting anything to plug this, so I can say that, and I'm not even getting to go. It's kind of making me upset. Welcome to another episode of Trap Talk. I'm your host, Zach Nannini. I'm here with my co-host, Richard Marshall. We've got our guest, Greg Pink from SOS, and alongside him, we've got our producer, John Slinker, and that being said, John not only is our producer and he's helping us with Trap Talk, but he's also a board member of the Nevada State Trap Shooting Association, so we thought this would be a great episode to have us all on here, learn more about what SOS is doing, and learn more about how the Nevada State Shoot is coming up here in October in a few weeks. So welcome to the show, everyone.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Pleasure to be here.
And let's not miss the fact that Greg is the president of the Nevada State Trap Shooting Association. So you got the full lineup here.
So technically, he's your boss then, John? Is that what you're saying?
100%. Yes, 100%.
Yeah, and you know how that goes.
Many bosses.
If you know this guy, it's like, herding chickens.
Hey, he's busy doing videos.
Right. Yeah.
He follows
The good
my
thing about
philosophy.
those zero-pay jobs is you don't really have to listen to your boss. That's what I've learned. I'm on the board of Missouri, and everybody makes the same amount of money, nothing. So when somebody tells me what to do, I'm like, it's optional.
Yeah, John asked for a raise the other day. I gave it to him. Gave him 20% raise. It was perfect for him.
Yeah, double it. Who cares?
The math just seems to always be the same. 0 times 0 is
Zero.
It's 0.
So all of us use your platform, Greg. Today we really want to learn more about what it does, how it works, how it can help gun clubs, and we'll get into other topics with it. And I'm sure Ricky's got some questions too. But just give us a rundown of what you got going on and how it works, and educate the listeners, if you will.
Terrific. So about 4 years ago, I experienced firsthand managing the Nevada State Shoot with industry standard at the time, which was 3S software. George Cook did a great job with it, started it 20 years plus ago or whatnot. But it's on the old platform. A lot of shoot managers had a lot of problems with it. It just wasn't built for the 21st century. And 4 years ago, I said, you know what, I think we can do better. We started developing SOS CLAYS. It is truly a web-based system that both shoot managers and all shooters will be able to log into the system, have an account, and be able to, from their cell phones, from their tablet, computer, be able to get information. And the goal is all that information that is usually posted via paper out on the boards at clubs is the shooters are going to be able to have access to that right from their phones. Okay.
Yeah, get it on their phones. Right.
Everything.
Exactly. The other thing that we're trying to bring together is that you had a lot of disconnected players out in the industry. You had 3S. You had presquad.com. You had you have Scoresar as a 3S competitor, and then you have shootscoreboard.com out there. So you had the Presquad under one company, you had shoot management under like 3S and Scoresar, and then you had web-based reporting under Shoot Scoreboard. So what we're doing is we're bringing it all together under one platform. So it'll be easier for the shooters to find information, but it's going to be even easier for the shoot managers to manage a shoot. So right now, over the winter months here, we are finishing up our development on our own pre-squad. It's going to be called SOS Pre-Squad. Shooters are going to be able to pre-squad in ways that they're used to in the other system out there, as well as get some better functionality along as prepaying not only for your pre-squatting, but also for target fees, options. Make it easier. Make it easier for the shooter to participate in a shoot. The shoot managers won't have to download files anymore and upload them into their computer to run their shoots. Everything's in the cloud. We have direct connections with both ATA and PITA. The last thing we've done is there's some new branding on shootscoreboard.com, and you see our logo predominantly right there on the homepage. David Van Elcourt and I have known each other for years. We talked, we got together, and shootscoreboard.com is now part of SOS CLAYS.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's
And
fantastic.
Yeah.
so we're going to be working to make it easier for shoot managers to set up and post with a click of a button versus downloading and uploading to separate systems.
Yeah. I mean, that's how it's always felt like in trap shooting, right? It's like, go here for this, go here for that, and then go over here, and then, oh, did you hit that website? Oh, but you could check it over here. I mean, that's just a huge benefit right there. Like just bringing everything in, right?
And I'll show my phone. So I use this app a lot, your SOS app.
Yeah, that's the SOS
As far as
CLAYS,
the shoots, I mean, it is, like we shot the Southwest Grand, you know, I didn't have to go talk to Zach. I could just see his score in the middle of the pack. So I just, you know.
And know if you want to talk
Love
to
you,
him.
Zach.
And then you can send a text message saying, nice 92, right?
I think it's everything's been done really archaically at gun clubs for a long time, and it's been kind of like, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. And, you know, you get done with the shoot, and then you're waiting for them to make the option paperwork and print it out, and then they go out with the tape, and they tape it on the board, and you're trying to add it all up. And then when there's something wrong, you got to tell them, and then they're like, okay, well, we'll get it fixed, and we'll put it out tomorrow. I mean, it's like, come on, guys. There's computers, right? Like, we could get this stuff done and have it to where the shooters can see it at their fingertips in real live time. That not only that, they can look at the options payouts, they can add it up, they can make sure nobody's skimming anything off the top. I mean, and you know, we don't have to get into that, but sometimes, you know, I've been in places where the options are wrong, you know, and it's like being able to add that up and check it. I mean, I don't think there's a lot of malicious stuff going on nowadays, but there is, you know, people misentering things, and you know, and it's like, okay, you know, how do you check to see? Well, how many entries were there?
Me.
Ricky's the best at it. Ricky adds it up on his phone. He'll go through. I've seen him at the Grand go through and count options, and he'll have the payouts done before they come out with the thing. And he's spot on. But I mean, that's what he does for a living.
You look
Not all
at
of us
it.
have a Ricky though doing the numbers, right, Rick? We
Well,
don't.
yeah. Well, and here's the thing, and Greg, this is a great deal because I've been doing this 36 years, and
What, since like when you were 2 years old? Is that when you
No,
started
when
shooting?
I was
What a
12,
nice guy.
13.
What a
Yeah,
nice
thank
guy.
you.
Look at
Appreciate that. But there's been a big like disconnect between in the clubhouse to the shooters as far as getting the info out there, doing this, doing that. And it's crazy because as you grow, you see the technology. I mean, we put a man on the moon in the 70s, whatever, 60. We can't go and put a score out there for someone to look
Right.
at, or the option money. So doing this, like all this app-based stuff, everybody has a smartphone except for Bruce Davis. Bruce Davis still has a
Bruce
flip phone.
Davis might be lost forever, but
Yeah,
that means
exactly.
it's going to work out for most people.
Yeah, it is one of those things that I see that it's so easy to look like, oh, okay, yep. And I've said this for years, guys, we got to be able to put that option money out there. Some places will wait. Well, we got time to look, and then once it's posted, it's final. Well, here's my problem with that is, okay, if the score's inputted wrong, that's not my fault. That's the people in the clubhouse, in the back room's fault. So it's happened to me multiple times at shoots where the scores got inputted as, and I say I broke the middle 50, but it showed me, or I broke 49, but it showed me breaking the middle 50. And they've told me, word for word, we'll just go pay the person that money. And I said, now wait a second, I get a 1099 at the end of every shoot. So are you deducting that money off my 1099? Well, no, I can't do that. And I said, well, either fix it, or I guess we can go about it through an attorney, because technically it's fraud what you're doing to that person.
Yeah, it's got to be right, and there's got to be transparency.
And that's where I think the technology, what you're doing with everything, it's so, spot on. And if you could put it all into one with the squatting, with the options. And now here's my question with the option. So say I prepay a shoot, but then something happens, you can't go. Is stuff like that going to be offered as a refund, or
it would be?
Okay.
The capabilities are going to be there. The shoot manager does dictate whether they offer refunds or not, right?
Clubs are going to start to recognize more. Like if the event's not shot, like, give the people a refund, right? Like, I think
I'm not talking at the shoot, Zach. I'm talking
beforehand.
Like I sign up and I pay everything, and
I think it's like an Airbnb. I pay for the Airbnb in advance, and if I cancel within 7 days before my trip, I get 100% refund. On some of them, but I think there's got to be something there. But what I'm really excited about more than anything is, like you said, the prepay option in advance, because when we had COVID hit, that's what they did at the Grand, and a lot of people used it. And it's like, why do we have this technology at our fingertips, but then use it when there's COVID, and then when there's no COVID, we go back to standing in lines? Like, I feel like if we could, pay for anything we want to pay for over our phone and eliminate all of those lines and eliminate all those situations, that seems like a good thing to me. I don't know.
It's a great thing. It's a great thing, because what you're talking about, Zach, is the experience for the shooter. And there's going to be a lot of people out there that think we're a software company, that think we're a technology company, but what we are focused on, we feel we're in the entertainment business, okay? And one of the things that we will be trying to do over the years is to teach shoot managers, and quite frankly, state board of directors and organization that yes, trap shooting is a competitive sport, and you don't want to diminish that, but you are competing for entertainment dollars, okay? And you need to make it entertaining, okay? And you need to make it easier, more enjoyable for a shooter to come to a big shoot and enjoy their time there, because I know right now everybody loves to get in line after line and after line every day to do classification, then squatting, then cashiering. I mean,
we hate it.
I'm gonna vote no on all three lines.
The only good fun I have in a classification line is when we're at the Grand, Danny Ryan's there, we bring Rich Bullard in, and we try to get him C-class singles and doubles, and mess him up a little bit.
Again, entertaining.
We give him the known ability every year. He gets real pissed when we print it out and it looks messed up. But that's the only time I'm having fun in classification lines.
But you are correct, Greg, with trying to teach people, and I'll say this in the nicest way possible. If you could rent out John to every state association, I think state shoots a grow with what he does
Thank you, Rick.
for
You.
Nevada.
Thank you.
Seriously,
He's saying
I've
I
been
have a
to-
big mouth, I think, right? I have a big mouth. I think
No,
that's what Rick-
you're outgoing. You're like, we're gonna break, and that's what a lot of these states they get stuck in the old way, and it's
Right.
like, like Zach said earlier, if it's not broke, don't fix it. Well,
it's not their
I
fault.
understand, but
It's
you
not.
gotta
Yeah.
you gotta grow. You're
Absolutely.
fighting for entertainment dollars. Ever since the housing crash in what was it, 08,
08,
everybody's money, they just like, we're gonna do this or we're gonna do that.
Yeah.
And like you said, you partnered up with David Van Elgort. I bought my first house through David.
Did you really?
So years
world,
ago, because trap shooting stated income. California was an easy state to get a stated income loan in. At the time, that was, 21, 22 years ago, something like that. So I've known David a long time, back when he owned trapshooters.com,
Okay.
and stuff. That was a long time ago. But in how we grown from then till now, but like with Shoot Scoreboard, I don't use a lot of the apps on there. I know Sean Hawley does. Sean inputs his scores on that thing, and he can pull it up and go, yep, I broke, blah, 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 blah.
Right.
I go, let me look on Shoot ATA, and I can tell you what
Right.
But I think this will help with all state shoots getting like, hey, we can do this. Okay, it's a one shot, boom, done. The pre-squatting, that's a big thing with a lot of shoots. I know the Grand, I've told them that they need to step up their game with their IT department on, you could sign up and put a shooter in, but then once you do it, you can delete them and then re-put a shooter, but you got to repay.
You gotta
I said,
pay
I
them.
already own that spot. Why
I
would have to-
never understood that system to where, and there's the other thing. When you delete them out, somebody else could jump in and take
Jump
that
in.
spot
Oh,
in the
absolutely.
second, right? So,
Right.
so I think whatever system we need to use moving forward has got to have the ability to add and change shooters on a squad. Once you paid for that post, I can change this person to that person. Because, how many times have we locked in a squad with 5 names and then we go find the guys to go fill it, right? Because we're not always...
because you're trying to reserve.
By the time the squad opens up, we don't always know exactly who's going to show up, right?
Right.
So, you got to get your squad.
I
and
might
then
be that guy.
Dave Kelly's been on every squad of mine for the last 2 years. We don't even shoot crap anymore.
He don't even shoot.
He's filling in the post, and then and then I find somebody to put in there. But
actual fillers. Yeah.
exactly. And so I know you said you're going around and getting a lot of people on this platform. How many states are you currently in with this software?
Yeah. That's
with
what I
this
was gonna ask
program?
too. Yeah.
Well, so if I can give you a little history, we launched 2 years ago, basically, and without a complete system, because we had a number of states ask us to give them something instead of using a different system. And so our first year, so that would be the 2022 shoot season, we did 7 state shoot, and we did 3 or 4 of the satellite grant. In 2023 here, we have done 37 state shoot and 7 of the 11 satellite grant. And
We're almost there.
So most of them.
we're getting there. We're getting there. And that only benefit the shooter. When the shooter is going from club to club, state to state, and can use the same app to manage his or her participation at the shoot is key.
Yeah. And a lot of them don't see the behind the scenes part, which is where you had to start. You had to start with the shoot management side, or you can't do anything for the shooter, right?
Exactly.
You have to make it where the shoot manager can do it. I think what has failed in the past, besides it being disjointed with these different systems that we use, is that one system focused on shoot management only, but didn't care about, not that they didn't care, but just didn't do anything for the shooter, right? And what SOS is doing is it's bringing both those sides together. It's saying, here's really good shoot management that can do everything, but also here's a side for your shooters, because they want to know what squad they're on, what scores they got. They want to be able to do all these things.
Exactly. Nope, exactly right.
That is beautiful, and it might be a different topic for a different day, but if a club was wanting to use you, do you have like a base entry level pricing or packages that you advertise, or is it based on the size of the shoots, Greg?
Yeah, thank you so much. Our base level price is $0. Our complete package system, the whole enchilada, is $0.
$0 is a good
It's a
price.
good price. It's a good
Well,
price.
no, but what we have done is we've taken a look and we have decided that the shoot managers in the club need to have access to a great system, and that access will benefit the shooters long term. So we designed a system that can be used at big state shoot. Okay, you can divide up the access. You can have 11 computers going, and some people doing classifying versus squatting, cashiering, etc. But we've designed the system that can, with 1 or 2 computers, they can handle a 25 to 75 shooter shoot. And they can do it easily. Boom, 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 right down the line. And what we're finding is we're getting a number of clubs that used to do it either via Excel spreadsheet or via paper because they didn't do enough shoots or they didn't do enough volume to pay a software price to a company.
Right.
And so we now have, I think it's 241, 242 clubs across the country using our system.
That's
great.
fantastic. And
So-
from what we're going through, I mean, with the price of $0, I think people will be dumb not to take advantage of at least trying it out and seeing if it could be better. I mean, you've got so much technology, and I know your heart's in the right place, and you're wanting to help the sport. And I think me and Ricky, decided to kind of start this up because of the same reason. We wanted to have a history log of information for people to go back and listen and learn. And then John, loved our mission and what we were trying to do and joined us. And now, we're hearing about what you're doing. Very similar. It's just, how do we get the sport back on track? How do we help the shooters? How do we grow this in a positive way? And it seems like you're doing that.
So where are you recouping any revenue from then, Greg? Is it
It's going to
per
be
shooter?
It's going to be based on.
Hello, Trap Talk listeners. Zach Nannini here, and I'd like to thank our show sponsor, Remington. And today, I would like to go into what shells I use when I'm training and when I'm shooting tournaments. First of all, we start with the gun club. This is a great shell. I shoot an 11.45 ounce and 1/8, and this is what I shoot for singles and both shots of doubles. The only reason I don't shoot this in tournaments is because I like a little bit of a harder shot, a little bit of a harder break, but it works great, and it's the same speed as this STS shell. So this STS shell, a little bit harder shot, figure 8 wad column, smokes the targets a little bit harder. Also, I shoot for singles and doubles, both shots. And then when I go to the back fence and I want to put the smoke on them, I bring out the Nitro 27, ounce and 1/8, 7.5. It's a 1235 shell, blast the targets, it works really well. I hope these shells work for you, and I want to thank Remington for supporting Trap Talk.
Our shooter app, okay?
Okay.
And we're going to have 2 versions of the app, okay? The first one, any and every shooter can create an SOS account for free when we launch the app. We're almost there. And the free version will allow them to log in, see high gun lists, and they could pre-squad and prepay for an event. If they're using the free version, they're going to pay SOS $2 a post. Okay, from a pre-squad
pre-squad,
standpoint. Okay.
Same thing.
Yep.
The real value comes with the shooters that become premium member. Okay, and the premium membership is $60 a year. Okay.
All right.
The first big benefit is when SOS pre-squad is going to be ready, and it's very close. The premium members do not pay a pre-squad fee ever.
Yeah.
For all year.
All year.
Can I buy a lifetime membership? Right now?
Absolutely.
Yeah, I was just going to say.
Gotta be your first lifetime
is there a
I want to
5-year?
be number one. Zach,
We want lifetime memberships for me and Ricky. Okay.
Excellent.
Yeah, I was
Work
just
that
going
out.
to say I just spent more than that on pre-squatting for the 75th Nevada State Shoot happening in Las Vegas, October 20th through the 29th. But I spent more than that. I'm on the board.
See what I got to deal with, guys? See what I gotta deal
Shameless
with?
plug, but
Hey, plug-
I'm on the board. I
plug
just
for
paid
days,
pre-squad
baby.
more than that.
Yeah, but the premium members will have access to all that information that you see on paper on the boards, and then some.
Nice.
Notifications about if you've made a shoot-off, notifications
Okay.
if you've won a trophy, notifications if your squad is next up on field 3. The
See,
information.
I like that. I like that part of it because I shoot all the games, trap, skeet, sporting, which the world skeet shoot's going on right now. I wish I could have went down, but got other stuff going on. But like National Sporting Clays, you'll get bing, shoot-offs tonight, blah, 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 blah. And that's one thing I've said for years with the ATA. I'm like, why do we have these smartphones if we can't use the technology to, it's simple. And people have always said, well, it takes a person to do it. And I'm like,
Good news is we got the guys on the show today. We're dialed in, baby. We got them. We're here.
John, you want to let these boys under the kimono and what we're going to do some testing at the Nevada State Shoot?
So the 75th Nevada State Shoot, I don't know if you guys have heard, but it's coming up in Vegas here in.
I know nothing
I'll
about
be there. Hey, I'll be there.
Yeah, Ricky's going to be there 17 days. Zach said he's busy. Yeah. But so what we're doing, and this is something, I mean, just huge, but we are rolling out this shooter notification system where the scorekeepers will be telling us who's shooting. That'll be coming into the SOS system. That'll allow us to dynamically update the on-deck board that everybody can have on their phone. So they'll see squads are clicking off. So you want to hang out in your RV until it's time to go up to the line. You just keep an eye on the SOS page. It'll tell you what squad is shooting. Then when we move into nighttime, we're going to send you a text message, hey, dinner is ready. We're serving tacos tonight. And then after that, it'll be, hey, you're in a shoot-off. This is what's going on tonight. And so we're rolling that out at the 75th, and I think it's going to be a huge win for everybody. I think they're going to love it.
That'll be awesome.
Excited. I'm sad that I'm not going to be there to witness this rollout because that sounds good. And for
it's going to be good.
For $60 a year, people would be dumb not to pay for it because I can tell you right now, I mean, I've spent probably in the last year on my own personal post, I don't know, $300 in pre-squad fees a year. I mean, that's pretty common with all the shoots that I go to. I mean, it's pretty common, and if we could, get everyone into the system to where they're using it, it's going to change the way things are running. I mean, it's going to save people money at the end of the day. It's going to elevate the experience. And what I think is nowadays, people want to have a better experience because if things are going to cost money and they only have so much time to do something, they want to go and have a great experience, and they want to have fun and be with their friends. They don't want to have to stress and worry. And I mean, at the end of the day, we're fighting for their time, their attention with some form of entertainment. And I want shooting to get back to the place where everybody is getting together and doing things and spending time, because that's the memories that I remember as a kid growing up shooting trap. And sometimes at some shoots, it feels a little bit, vacant and dead. You're just like, you're out there, you shoot all day, and then it's over. And and a lot of times it's because people don't know what's happening, right? Like a lot of people don't read the program and say, oh, well, there's a fish fry tonight. Rich Bullard's one of them. I say, hey, there's a fish fry tonight. He's like, I don't know anything about fish fry. We're going to have a steak. A lot of people don't read the
extra
program.
text messages
Are we
for
really
Rich.
going to use Rich Bullard as a standard to?
Yeah, if you can get Rich to know what's going on.
He's our standard.
I got to shoot with him all week in Nevada.
John didn't promise you
Rich would
discounted
tell you.
fees for that, did he?
Yeah.
I was like, this one's on us, Rick. We appreciate you. But hey, that's the big thing because I think, a lot of these rules even, and I was given Tucson, I took a shot at Tucson earlier, just giving them a hard time about refunds. But a lot of these things are really, they're resource based. Like a lot of these rules that we see are like, hey, we can't manage giving people back refunds and knowing if you showed up or didn't show up. We just got to put this rule in place because there's only 5 of us back here and we can't do it. Technology solves a lot of that stuff, right? So if they had a system that just said, oh, these people didn't shoot, boom, and the system just started giving back refunds and it was all automated for them, a lot of these rules that we kind of go like, why are they doing that to us, would probably go away, right? And I think when I leave a shoot, obviously hanging out, like Zach's saying, like hanging out with everybody and seeing everybody is a huge part of it. But there's also this like, hey, you know what? That shoot was run really well. Like, like everything ran really well. It should fade to the background because it ran so well. And then the other part is, they fed me really well. Just like how we're doing dinner almost every night at the 75th Nevada State Shoot. So basically I'm saying
he's the plug. The plug master, ladies and gentlemen. You need got a hole, he's going to plug
And
it.
you really should be telling them about the 10-ounce silver bars that we're shooting off for.
Well, we do have a
Every
very
night.
cool option this year.
Oh, okay.
You know, if you play the silver shootout option, we draw your name out of a hat. You get to shoot off a 10-ounce bar of silver every night. So it's pretty
Is that
cool.
every night?
Every night. I think
Tuesday through Saturday, yeah.
Friday.
Damn.
Tuesday through Friday. I don't think we're doing it
that's
Saturday
nice.
night.
Oh, right.
I know
Saturday's not
Ricky's
shootouts,
going
yeah.
to come home with some silver because he's lucky. He's going to have,
we
have
got
that
a lot of silver to give
4x4,
away,
75
so, yeah.
pounds of silver. He's going to be rolling it back in his truck. He's going to love it.
Yeah, I've already got his. W9 already filled out. He just needs a signature.
Well, also you can win a 5-ounce silver shotgun shell in the poker tournament that's on Thursday night and Friday night. So there's also that. So lockdown in the Silver State.
This is going to be,
Yeah.
this sounds like one of the funnest shoots ever, and I'm not getting anything to plug this, so I can say that, and I'm not even getting to go. It's kind of making me upset.
Why can't you go? Zach,
I'm
Zach,
hurt.
explain to us why can't you go?
I already have prior commitments. I am going down to New Orleans that week.
And that would be because it's your anniversary.
we should
He's a
probably
smart
Yeah,
man.
you're a smart man.
Yeah.
You are a smart man.
Yeah, yeah.
Happy
So
anniversary to you.
it's hard. It's hard to get away from that. And if the Nevada State shoot is on that day, it's going to be kind of hard for Zach and me moving forward. But
Listen,
Well,
I'll
we're-
talk to Beth.
Yeah. Yeah, you're making the right decision, Zach. Yeah.
I'm trying. I'm trying. But,
Keep Beth happy. That's definitely important. Yeah.
so, Greg,
Yeah.
I do want to ask you. You've had a lot of passion. You've built this up. This is going in the right direction. You've shared with us a lot of stuff that you're already innovating. Is there any other cool stuff that's down the road or down the horizon, or is there any other thoughts that you have of where this is going to go? And how are you blending it with Shoot Scoreboard? Is that becoming kind of a one thing now, or is it still going to be separate?
Well, it is still going to be separate because David also helps manage zone shoots for the ATA zones
Right.
and whatnot. We're not changing any of that. We also are keeping that it's free for any club across the country to put their shoot information and post their scores on that. So we're just going to make it easier for those people using the SOS CLAYS system to post scores, okay, with one button versus uploading and downloading and whatnot. But we are going to make it a seamless experience long term for the shooter. Basically at SOS CLAYS, they're going to be able to pre-squad. They're going to be able to manage and see information during the shoot. Then they're going to be able to, them and their friends are going to be able to see stuff out on the internet as far as results that Shoot Scoreboard currently does. So that's going to be one very cohesive experience for the shooter. So long term, shooter just goes to sosclays.com and does whatever they need.
One-stop shop.
A link on there somewhere that says Trap Talk, where they can go listen to Ricky and Zach.
Actually, John and I have already talked about that,
We already
and
talked
I can
about that,
guarantee
yeah.
you that that's going to be on Shoot Scoreboard very soon.
Yeah, so I made a really cool banner for you guys to put on there. But Greg, there's that other piece too, which you know is kind of near and dear to my heart, which is the website piece for the clubs. That is going to be, I think that's an important piece too, because you know a lot of the clubs just don't have time. They don't have the infrastructure to put up a website for their club and keep it updated. SOS is going to have that kind of edge also, right?
That is correct. So going back and playing off of our business's core competencies is that we'll be offering a very inexpensive website to gun clubs across the country that will be integrated with their shoot, their results, and whatnot.
Everything.
Yep.
Yeah.
And
That's
just to
fantastic,
help
and
us-
I can tell you, we're missing that at our state. I mean, MTA is doing a great job.
You
We're
are.
trying our best, but you've got a webcast, you've got a website guy over here, you've got a director over here, you've got a
Right.
finance person over here, you've got all these people, and it's like nothing's communicating to each other.
That's
and I think
absolutely
that
correct.
if you can get that communication, where if somebody wins a trophy, we can have their picture up on the website that day. I mean, that's huge. I mean, that's a huge thing to drive
Yeah.
traffic.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So
And if if the website's easy to use, they'll do it, right? If it's all
And-
integrated into one system, right?
and we'll build the back end of the website to easily deal with the types of functionalities that gun clubs need. Okay,
Yeah.
like posting trophy winners, if they set up a shoot in the SOS Clays system from a shoot management standpoint, it automatically appears on their website under the upcoming calendar.
The shoot calendar. Yeah.
So the synergies become great for the associations, the gun clubs, and the shoot managers. And then ultimately,
and they're not doing it because they don't
great.
want to.
No, they just don't know. They either don't know how, don't have time.
Right. Yeah, it's the time thing. Yeah. If you went into SOS Clays, you set up your shoot, you put in the structure of the shoot, you hit save, and then it goes up to the website. Now it's on the calendar. It's like half their job is done, right? And now at the end, it shoots out all the winners. Then that winner sheet goes to shootscoreboard.com, where some people are used to seeing it. Goes to app.soas.com. They've got, the names of all the winners up there. They can drop their media in there. I mean, that's really the only reason they're not doing it, because it looks like such a big thing. But if you automate some of that, then they'll put out the winners. They'll put out what happened. And that just grows the sport in their state. It grows their shoots because people see it.
People don't know how much easier it is and what's at their fingertips. And I think they're scared to change because they know what they know, and they're like, "Oh, if it's better, it's got to be harder." Well, that's not necessarily the case.
Hence Greg flying around to every state and city in the union to go and show them personally that it's actually can be done.
I have racked up a few miles this summer. Yes.
So are you traveling a lot and teaching people implementation, Greg? Is that something you're personally doing?
Exactly. So we do have shoot manager experts on our team as well. You may know some of them. You may know Bob McClendon out west.
Yeah.
You may know Linda Hand down in the southwest. You may know Sandra McAllister.
Yep.
And Jessica Clark. And so we have 4 people that help be on the front lines with shoot managers right now. They will also be on the front lines with shooters as shooters come onto this system and have questions, and we'll be doing a rotating desk from that standpoint. And we use Zoom meeting to do our training. I have big state organizations that are using us for the first time. We have gone and worked with them in their first state shoot if they felt they'd like us to be there. At our dime, not their dime, our dime, to make sure that the transition from one system to the other goes as smooth as possible. And there's always going to be questions. So, no, we're putting the resources into helping the industry in general, and I love it. I you know what? I love this industry. The people are great, except for Richard Bullard. But besides,
Jeez. Oh man! Shots fired.
Yeah,
that's the Nevada State team open captain right there, Greg.
I understand.
You gotta hit him with the truck.
Yeah, but
I'm going to change my residency, and I'll become. I told Bullard that. I said my cell phone's been out of Vegas since 20-some years ago.
Yep.
He goes, "You are not a Nevada resident."
Hey, me and you could play tic-tac-toe on that. You go a couple years to Nevada, I'll go a couple years to Nevada. We'll trade off back and forth. He'll be meat ground.
That would be awesome.
So, anyways, I love it. We're trying to create what I call an ecosystem for the trap industry.
Yeah.
And there's many pieces, as John alludes to make that happen. But it's all about entertainment, and it's all about making trap shooting fun again for the shooters.
Yeah. Well, just in that course of 2 years, right? I mean, you've come so far in 2 years from just the back office to now we get to do a lot. When that pre-squad prepay option stuff drops, in addition to the shooter notification stuff, the shooters are going to start going like, "Oh, your guys aren't using SOS Clays? Like, what's going on here?" So yeah, I think that's going to happen too.
So I think it has to happen because at some level, I think the people complain about a few things. Okay, once they complain about the system doesn't work well. Okay, everyone can understand that complaint, right? The system is crap. The second complaint is the system's really freaking expensive, right? Like, they're charging me $3 an event, or they're charging me, it's $100 a shoot to use this thing, or it's some crazy monthly fee that that people can't really wrap their heads around.
Yeah.
And 3, it's not consistent across the board. It's not like well, they have it over here, but they don't have it over here. Man, I like it when they do this, and I don't like it when they do that. I think you've really answered those 3 questions today. You know, it's got everything you want. One, it's not overly priced because it's free, and 3, if we could get everyone using the system across the board, well, then we solve the last problem of, well, it's over here but not over there, right? And that's just a matter of the gun clubs. And it sounds like you're doing everything in your power to make the gun clubs feel comfortable and using that and building that in. And correct me if I'm wrong, you did use the software at the Heartland Grand, right?
Absolutely.
Yep. So because we were there for that, and I mean that ran super smooth at Dale's Gun Club. How long have you been using the platform there? A couple of years now.
This was our second Heartland. Yep.
Second year. Yeah, and everything was lightning fast. So I'm excited for that upgraded app because I mean as good as it is now, to be able to say, okay, I could pre-squad for free at these shoots. I mean that itself is going to pay for itself. But then to have all of these alerts, notifications when I'm in a shoot off, and the dynamic on deck board. I mean, I think if that thing actually works the way you're telling me that it's going to work, that's a game changer. Because I mean, how many different banks are moving ahead or slow based on what's going on? Oh, we had a trap breakdown. I mean, hey, you have a little red flag pop out when a trap breaks down. I know what.
Yeah.
Me and Ricky will be at the
You
pizza.
got Zach's head pop out. Woo!
We have to license Zach's head. Be like,
There we go.
stop, don't go to the field, trap down.
Now,
Rich Bullard.
one day, if you could figure out a way to figure out how many clays is left in the carousel so we know when they're loading it or not loading it and I don't run out on
Oh, my Lord.
then we're in a whole other level, Greg, because, I mean, I can't tell you, me and Ricky found about every single empty trap across the country. We get about 40 straight in, and boom, the thing's empty. And I'm like, come on, man.
Where were we, Zach? Was it the Grand in the prelims? And I broke my last pair of doubles, and the machine was empty. And I was like, all right, boys, I'm going to go sit down.
Wow.
This is the problem. Ricky being, the most caring about everyone else person. He breaks the last pair. He's post 1. There's still 4 other people that got to shoot. We're sitting there, and there's not a target left in this damn thing. And he's like, I got mine. You guys have a good day. And I'm like, Jesus. We got to.
I stayed there. I stayed.
You did. He's
was
getting
like,
better.
oh,
I mean, he's getting a lot more gracious in his age.
Now, is this software? Is Tucson going to be using this software or no? They still use a different one, don't they? Or
They have their own homegrown system that they've had for many, many years. Okay. They're choosing at the moment to continue to use that. I've had some conversations with Doug Sims in the past, and I think it's a matter of time. When they're looking for a change, we'll be there. Same thing's going to happen in Pennsylvania and Ohio.
Yeah. Well, those systems age out.
I've actually had some conversations with Don Nielsen over in Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
And I'm actually going to go visit the PA State Shoot next year and just see how their setup is and see what unique things they do and see if we can't glean some added functionality for our system.
Yeah, here's the other thing.
It's run through the RJ
I'm just going to say it right here and right now because this is what I believe. If you've got something that's truly better and it's working and shoots don't have it at their shoot, people are going to say, well, I'm just not going to that shoot anymore. Because why would I go somewhere where they don't have this technology if I'm getting used to it? And I think that's, at the end of the day, I mean, we all, in anything we do, we want the best. We want the best shotguns. We want the best shells. We want the best experience. We want to eat at good restaurants. I mean, we crave for excellence in everything we're trying to do. And that's how most trap shooters are. They're not settlers that just be like, oh, we'll just take whatever we get. I mean, these are very driven individuals most of the time that are doing the sport that we do, that love to compete, that love to push past excellence. And when they find something they really like, I will say this too, they're stubborn. They're stubborn as all get out. And when they like it and they're like, oh, I like this, they don't want to change. They want it to be.
And they'll let you know.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they'll let us.
Well,
I mean,
They'll let you know,
and
they're going to let these clubs know. They may go right, but they're going to be moaning the whole time, going like, "Why can't I get a text to let me know what's going on?
Yeah.
Why didn't I get the 10-minute call text? Why didn't they text me and tell me I'm in the shoot off? I'm back at the trailer and I would have come up." Like they're going to start moaning a lot, and then the clubs are going to feel the pressure, right? Of like, "Oh man, we better get this functionality."
It'll become easy. And then a few shoots will have it, and then all of a sudden you're like, well, oh crap,
yeah,
well,
I don't know which one it's going to be. If it's going to be the trying to quiet them down from complaining, or the we want to make them happy because they're talking so good about it. But one way or the other, I mean, you've already got
both sides.
How many stage shoots did you say you have currently?
We did 37, and that included PITA shoots. So I think it's somewhere. It's north of 30.
So 30. I mean, 30 out of across the country. That's it's a pretty good stronghold of where you're at for what you've started.
Yeah, and I think it's going to be close to 40 for next year from the people I've been talking to.
That's awesome.
You're not playing, Greg. You're a man on a mission, and I can say this: I've seen you at these shoots, and you were always making sure everything runs smooth. I mean, not someone else. You were there at the Heartland Grand, and you were working hard, and that really says a lot, because you're not just saying here, take it, run with it. We hope it works well. You're like, no, we're going to make sure it works well. We're going to make sure you guys get comfortable with it. We're going to make sure you've got all the bugs worked out, and then you can run with it on your own. But to start, I think that's huge for people, because especially when they don't have that technological, IQ, where they want to jump into all the technology. You gotta have some teacher, a little training wheel.
Well, and
it's
the other
like
thing,
it's like Ricky Marshall Jr. shooting clinics. Plug. You gotta have somebody show you how to do it. Okay.
You did.
Well, and you got to remember that a lot of your shoot managers are doing this part-time.
Yes.
Okay?
Yeah, right.
So,
Yeah.
they are doing it for the state shoot, and then they may not use the system for another 60 days.
Yeah.
Okay? So,
Right.
having the infrastructure and the organization behind them to give them refreshers, to be there to remind them, and to help them out. And gentlemen, we're just getting started. I mean, I just feel that we have the development that we've done today has given us entry into the sport, and now, in my opinion, now we get to the fun stuff.
Yeah, because now we can use this platform to grow the sport.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
That's the not so secret mission here, is that if every club had an easy to use system, they'd put on more shoots, right? And if every shooter could know everything that's going on and knew that there was a shoot, they'd go to more shoots, right? So there's this other piece to it where we get a chance to grow the sport. And then the other side of it is with ShootScoreboard.com, with these club websites, with SOS CLAYS, where you have a lot of shooters interacting. Now we get to expose the industry side to those shooters, right? Because, like, for example, Greg and I always talk about the Western Zone, because we're out here in Nevada. We're having a big state shoot coming up towards the end of this month. And with that, we always try to talk about, hey, I travel to Arizona and California and other states to shoot. What's going on there, right? Well, we should have an easy way to have all of our shoots on each other's calendars, to advertise with each other, to be in each other's programs. And that's kind of where, you guys know my marketing and advertising side passion. But if we get a system that they love to use, is easy to use, we grow the sport. And then everybody benefits. We benefit because there's more shooters. The industry benefits because they have more turnout at shoots. They have more interaction with their products, and they invest more into the sport because they're getting that return on investment. So all of these things work hand in hand together. But if you don't have a foundation of letting the shooters know where the shoots are at and giving the clubs an easy way to manage it, then there's no launch pad, right? There's no way to get it off the ground. So Greg's created the launch pad and this great vehicle, and now we just get to leverage it everywhere to grow the sport. And that does all of us. That's all of us want. We want more shoots, more shooters, So
More fun.
I think it's awesome all the way.
Less work, more fun.
Got to be more fun.
That's right.
Got to be more
Yes,
fun.
exactly. Yeah.
So you're going to have, so how soon will, like the options on so I know like the Southwest Grand, they didn't have the options on the SOS site. Will that be coming up sooner than later? Or
It'll be up sooner than later. So I mean, so
roadmap wise, Greg.
That's exactly what I was going to do.
Yeah.
So we're what I'm calling, we're going into our winter development cycle. Okay. And finishing off SOS pre-squad is big. Finishing off the banking system, the banking notification next up on deck. Okay. The other thing that we're going to be doing is a fully integrated trophy, shoot-off, carryover trophy package. Okay. You gentlemen probably know Todd Albert.
I do, yeah.
Okay.
Name sounds familiar.
And Todd, a number of years ago, built a standalone DOS-based or Windows-based system called Shoot Winner.
Yep.
So,
to figure out all your winners and trophies.
Right.
And,
so right now we work closely with Todd, and our system exports the files needed to do trophy determination and shoot winners. Well, we're going to be working closely with Todd to bring all that trophy functionality into SOS completely. Okay, and that's more for helping the shoot managers. And the only reason we haven't done that is because Todd's system's been out there. It's familiar by many shoot managers, and we've had other things just ahead of the development process. Okay. Launching the shooter app will be key. So these are the things that we're working on over the next 3-4 months. Have them ready. Our process is we go out there and we start doing some beta testing and get that squared away. The Las Vegas area and Clark County will be our test bed for the shooter app, for pre-squatting testing, things like that. So we'll start using it with some Big 50 that we hold each month in the next coming months and whatnot.
Okay.
So the crown jewel is really, once you have pre-squad in place, now we have shooters in there picking their squads. Now the next thing is they need to pay and pick options.
That's right.
But you can't do that until you have squatting in place, right?
There's
so that's the crown. Yeah, that's the crown jewel of now you can pay and do your options. Yeah.
Well, and I like the aspect of the carryover, you shoot off notification stuff, because there's a lot of shoots we go to, you don't know. I mean, unless you've done. I mean, there's a lot of times I'm like,
unless you're Ricky Marshall and you're there at the board, you're adding numbers. And,
Well, and I'll do it like my son. Tyler, he's a junior shooter. He's like, well, am I in a shoot off or carryover or what? Yeah. Well, okay, well, then you got to wait, and then, no, doesn't look like you are, and then all of a sudden, oh, yeah, then it carried. Well, no, what I saw didn't. Oh, well, no, this is why. And it's later on versus, hey, if you know, you know.
So you got to have that trophy piece, right, Greg? You have to have that trophy software in there,
or that logic. So,
then you do notification. Okay. Yeah. They all play off each other.
So really, it's the SOS pre-squad, trophy package, shooter app, payment system. Okay.
Everything.
So those are the benchmarks that we're working on over the winter. I want to have as much of it done as I can before we go into the spring shooting season.
Yeah.
I mean, the other thing that we're doing from a shoot manager side is a lot of states have state annual fees. Yeah. And it's always been a pain to do that. Well, we're just finishing up our beta testing on a system that'll allow state secretaries to be able to go in and see who's paid across the state. And
you're going to catch a lot of people there.
Yeah. So.
Well, hey, Iowa State shoot. I saw one of their directors sitting there at the entry to classification, and he's like, "What's your number?"
Yeah.
You owe me $5. And I was like,
pay up.
And he looked at me, and I go, I'm from Nebraska.
Yeah, it'll be part of the cashiering area. So if they're an Iowa shooter, for example, or Arizona, California does the same thing, it'll come up that they're not current on their membership and just gets added to it, and then that information.
I mean, it's important. I mean, you got these people over here where they're trying to change 3s to 4s on their thing, and they're trying to forge it. They get a couple more years of membership. I mean, it's only $5, guys. Like pay
the Italian and Zach coming out.
Yeah,
and that wasn't me. I heard it was another guy. But I mean, I got a little gold sticker, and I figured out, hey, as long as I live past 50, the gold sticker is going to pay me money. So you gotta buy lifetime. That's my recommendation. Buy a lifetime everything. We want lifetime SOS memberships. We'll figure out what the price is.
Yeah, we
Greg,
need that for sure.
Send me an email. Let me know what price you want, and then we'll talk.
We've been throwing zeros around, haven't we?
Yeah. No, unfortunately, that's going to be the one that's. There might be some zeros on it, but there's going to be a number in front of it.
They're behind the number, not in front.
Well, maybe we could offer a nice coupon code on Trap Talk, right? We could say, hey, if you're a Trap Talk listener, get yourself 10% off on your yearly membership or something. We'll work something out, guys.
John,
I'll talk to Greg.
That's not official, and I appreciate you. I appreciate you taking care of my company's margin. Yeah, thank you.
Yes, of course. I'll take them right out for you.
We'll have to bump it up 10% to knock it down 10%.
Right.
That's the oldest Italian trick in the book. So don't worry, we'll get it worked out.
Yeah, we'll get the numbers working the way they need to be working.
Oh, here we go.
Yeah.
Hello, Trap Talk listeners. Today's episode is brought to you by Wenig Custom Gun Stocks.
That being said, a custom gun stock is going to elevate your game because you get the same fit every single time.
And I can attest to that. I broke hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of hundreds with my Wenig Custom Gun Stock.
I haven't broke hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of hundreds, Rick, but I did break 100 from the 27 within 7 days of getting my stock, and broke 2 more that year and loved it.
Here, this is.
Okay, do you take it or me?
We'd like to thank Wenig Custom Gun Stocks for supporting Trap Talk.
That being said, everyone knows.
Winners shoot Wenig.
Are we doing the end part?
The over-under line in Vegas is on Bullard winning multiple titles this year. So I don't know. Is he going to win overalls, all arounds? I mean, it's in state, so we got to see.
Well, Ricky and I are doing private lessons every morning, so I'm hoping in state I can have a run at him. So we'll see.
John's going to take him out.
You take a piece of him, John. Every time you get him, it's going to be worth something for you. So you just walk offline.
Well, the
He
big
does
problem,
have the benefit of.
The big problem is John is not the real shooter in the Slinker household.
I know. I've seen.
They know.
Letitia's been getting some more yardage, I've seen.
Mm-hmm.
I hear
she's at the 25 now. She's
been on those clays.
Yeah, she's been kicking my butt lately. So,
oh Jesus,
That's
Greg,
I'm really saying it's for Bullard, but I would just like to keep up with Letitia, actually, Rick. So,
I understand. It's okay. We'll get you fixed up.
Is there anything we're missing, Greg? Is there anything else we need to dive into? Or Ricky, John, is there anything, other questions that we haven't asked today that you want to ask?
I think it's good. I mean,
yeah, I think you got the big.
I think
picture.
trap shooting is going to be, grown just with this one deal. So it's a one-stop shop. That's a huge contribution to the shooting game.
Yeah, and I can't thank you guys enough for inviting me on today. This has been
absolutely
wonderful.
Well, we can't thank you enough for doing the work. Because you're doing the work. Not only did you build it, but you're going around, you're helping implement it, and that just shows that you want this to work and that your heart's in the right place. I know a lot of people that get into these types of things. The most important thing is how much they're making right off the bat, and they want to do that. And I don't sense that from you at all, Greg, based on the conversations we've had. You're trying to do this as cheap as possible for the shooter. You're trying to help the gun club so that they grow because, let's face it, wages are up, target costs are up, and everything's up across the board. And these gun clubs, they're getting chewed out every which way we can. And you being a board member and the president of Nevada, experiencing firsthand what it takes to grow a shoot. And then with all the trophies that you guys are doing this year, I mean, having to raise sponsorship dollars to do that. I mean, it's very, very hard because I can tell you guys, any listener, if you see a shoot and they're giving all this extra stuff, it's not because there's so much profit in the 100 targets you're shooting. It's because
it's not coming
there's
in there.
There's a lot of good people on the sidelines that have been approached and have donated to make these things work. And and that's wonderful that there's people in the sport that'll do that. But but I can tell you as an MTA director and these guys as Nevada directors, there's just not a lot there. I mean, if anything, a lot of times you're almost losing money to put 100 targets in the air after you've paid for everything, and you make it other ways. But it is about growing the shoot and making people have fun, and I see beautiful days of trap shooting in the future. So we're excited.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Well,
Absolutely.
we are too, and we had to clean up our operational act in Nevada a few years ago, and we got that squared away, and we got it running well. And John has been leading the effort with the rest of the board this year. They've done a fabulous job on the marketing side. I think we're going to see the fruits of that, of just having a lot more shooters and have a great experience, and that our sponsors are going to get the exposure and business that we told them that they were going to get.
Yeah, which is a great thing for all the sponsors.
Yeah, it really is. Over 2,700 entries across the week already, and that's just on pre-squad. So we're expecting even that number to be higher.
Well, how much
the numbers on the weekend?
The weekend is looking at around 730 entries for the 3 championship events. So we are at competition 4. We blew past 600, and so we're very excited about that. Yeah.
In relativity, how much bigger is that than last year?
Well, I was just going to mention that. Last year or last few years, we were averaging about 135 to 150 shooters pre-squatting, and being somewhere in that 450 entry level for the championship events.
Wow.
And now we're at 271, and what'd you say, John? 700?
I think it's like somewhere around 730 entries for the 3 championship events.
Yeah.
Wow. So we're talking
huge.
We're talking huge numbers, guys, not small. I mean, this is a big, this is 30%.
And John and the board have done a fabulous job this year. I can't take any credit for it because I've been traveling on the SOS CLAYS side, and John has really stepped up and has taken the ball and shown some of his marketing prowess, and all the rest of our board members have supported him and the direction he's gone.
Yeah,
That's
well,
awesome.
Ricky, I told you when I told you that I told Greg, hey, they may not come, but they're gonna know about it.
Oh yeah,
They're going to know. It's like me.
but
And
they're
here's
coming.
the other thing. I know about it, and I'm sad that I'm not going. So if they can't
I'm
go,
not.
they're going to be sad about it. So.
I'm not. I got to see you in Tucson, so it's okay.
But what it's showing, guys, is shooters want to be entertained.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
There's
And if you get the word out,
we're all going to watch Ricky take some, trophies home
Hopefully.
and whatnot. Yep.
We'll see.
Yep.
I'm just coming for the poker tournament.
Okay. That's good. That's good. But if we can help spread the word of having the state associations, having the gun clubs spend a little more effort and make it as entertaining as possible,
Yes.
you're going to see these numbers grow across the country. The shooters are there.
Yeah.
The shooters are there.
Well, the shooters want value for their dollar.
Yeah, exactly right.
At the end of the day,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just how it is. I want Zach to play all the options.
It's true. But the problem is, Ricky, is I don't get a lot of value for my dollars when you're at the shoot.
Oh, whatever.
Oh, sure. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Here we go.
All right. I
This
guess
was
we
good,
got to
guys.
get out of here. I mean, we've talked for an hour about this. This has been a really fun episode.
It has. This has been a great episode.
Yeah,
we
for sure.
appreciate your time, Greg. We really do. Look forward to seeing you in Vegas and what, John? What's the dates of that shoot?
We've got
17
about
days, guys.
17 days until
That's right.
kickoff. Yeah, for sure.
Again,
Thanks, guys.
thank you
This
so
was
much.
great.
Appreciate the opportunity to talk today. And Zach, we'll see you down the road at one of the next shoots.
Happy Friday.
Absolutely. We appreciate it.
Thanks, guys.